Cold wind blowing, shadows growing, creepy creatures in the night they're showing. Wee whispers filling up my mind, spooky shivers
Hey,
running down.
you. Yeah, you. I heard you like Saw. I heard you love Saw.
Quite enjoy it.
Awesome, because we're going to be talking about it. I'm Ben,
And I'm Ethan.
and welcome back to the Shivers podcast. Today we're talking about saw traps, and we're going to talk about whether we think we could survive them. And we're just looking at varieties, ranking the 20th goriest traps in the Saw series. We're just going to start at number 20, and you can follow along.
Also, what was that start?
I thought it was funny. Let's get into it. At number 20, they've got the pendulum trap from Saw 5. So that's the one where the guy is laying on the bench and he's got his arms stretched out and there's a giant axe swinging aimed at his stomach. And to beat the trap, he has to stick his hands in these vices that will crush both of his hands and push a button. So what do you reckon? Do you reckon you could get out of that or what?
Like, obviously, given the option whether crush my hands or die, I'd choose to lose my hands
Yep.
because, yeah, I'd rather live than that. However, this Saw in Saw 5 was one that was made by Hoffman, so it was an unbeatable one.
We'll just say hypothetically they could all be beat.
Yeah,
So your options are crush your hands, both of them, or get cut in half.
yeah, 100% crush my hands. Fuck. And, yeah, fucking cut in half because you'd still be alive for a decent amount of time.
Once you get out, you'd have to amputate both your hands, I reckon. You wouldn't be able to save them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could survive this. I'm pretty confident.
It fucking suck, obviously, but
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Next up, we've got Public Execution from Saw 3D. This is the one where there's a girl tied up on the roof, facing down, and there's two guys below her, and they're both tied up to a buzzsaw, and they have to push backwards or forwards. So one guy, he'll push it forward, saw will go towards the other guy, and then the other guy wants to push it the other way.
But if they both leave it, then the girl who's strong up above gets the one who's cut.
Yeah, and in the film, they come to an agreement. They both aim it up, and the girl gets cut in half. Who are you in this position, either girl or one of the guys?
One of the guys, but yeah, if I found out that this situation where, because the girlfriend is like a mutual girlfriend between both of them without either of them knowing,
Yep.
and she made them do like different sorts of crimes and all that for her, I would 100% just side with the other guy.
Yeah, well, regardless of who you are in the situation, you just have to convince someone. So if you're the girl, you got to convince one of the guys. If you're one of the guys, you either have to come to an agreement or just brute strength it.
Yeah.
That's hard. I feel like if I was in the trap as one of the guys, I don't think I'd have a chance.
Yeah, strength-wise, I couldn't do it, so I'd have to try and talk to them about it. Be like,
Yeah, for sure.
listen, we both got fucked. Let's just kill this chick.
I think it's beatable. I think you just have to have a level 10 charisma stat. Next up, we have number 18, the laser collar from Jigsaw. This by far is probably my least favorite trap in the entire franchise. They have these fucking sci-fi laser scalpel
Because
things.
apparently they're medical grade lasers.
Yeah, it looks like it's out of the MCU or something. I don't think there's anything you can do to get out of it.
Yeah, because the whole plot is I forget his name, but basically John's disciple is just trying to get a confession out of the cop.
Yeah, so the trap is basically a collar, and it has these medical lasers that shoot straight up, and every couple of seconds they'll rotate at an angle towards your head, and these things can cut through flesh, bone, whatever. And so yeah, this trap is obviously unbeatable. I know I said we'd ignore that, but there's no way out of it unless you have plot armor. So yeah, we're fucked.
His intent was just to kill him, like no matter what.
Yeah, do you think there was an easier way to do that? You couldn't have just, I don't know.
Well, he specifically did it so he could get a confession out of the cop. Realistically, I guess.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he recorded him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Next up, we've got number 17, the Death Mask, or the Venus flytrap, I hear people call it, from Saw 2. So,
Sounds fucked.
a man wakes up to find a contraption attached to his neck that's made up of two halves of a metal mask, each spiked with nails. It's very similar to the Iron Maiden, but for your head. He wakes up and he finds under his eye, someone put a key in there. So to escape, he needs to. Does he cut his eye out? Yeah, he has to remove his eye, pull the key out, and then unlock the mask before it clamps shut on his face straight away. Anything with eyes, I'm out. I'm fucked. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
I'd take the L. I'll just
Yeah,
get
because
clamped.
I guess with the thing with this trap, it's also like an insta kill. I would not be fucked cutting my eye open.
No,
That's
thank you.
scary.
I'll take the L. I'm dead for this one. Next up, we've got number 16, Razor Wire from the first Saw film. A suicidal man wakes up naked in a maze filled with razor wire, and in order for him to escape the trap before an automatic door locks him in forever, he must crawl through the maze, slicing himself to ribbons in the process. I don't know. I think this one's probably beatable if you just stayed calm and just took your
But,
time.
but at the same time, I can't remember how long the timer was.
I think it was only 3 minutes, wasn't it? Or it was something. It was either 3 minutes or 3 hours. I can't remember.
It is beatable if you take your time. Like, obviously, you will get cut, I'm
Yep.
assuming, no matter what. But I think what this dude did in the Saw movie is he just freaked the fuck out and
Yeah, he just
went
panicked
everywhere.
and just started rolling around.
Which obviously isn't a good way to go. It's beatable.
I think this is also probably one of my favorite scenes in the original. It's very stylized the way it's shot, but no, I think it's definitely beatable. This one's probably one of the easier ones, I think.
Yeah. So take your time.
Yep. Alright, next up we have number 15 with the knife chair from Saw 4. After accidentally causing Jigsaw's wife to miscarry her baby, a drug-addicted criminal finds himself strapped to a chair in Jigsaw's workshop. In order to escape from the trap, he must lean forward and push a strategically located pressure plate with his forehead. Unfortunately for him, 8 knives are positioned in front of his face, meaning he'll have to slice himself to pieces in order to free himself from the shackles. Holy fuck. This one's intense.
Because in the film, the actual trap also breaks.
Yeah, this one's a piece of shit. I think it's one of his Jigsaw's first traps.
Yeah.
But fucking hell. This one's intense. I think it's beatable. Another thing to mention is that obviously this is the guy that killed Jigsaw's unborn baby.
He's not getting away, no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to say I could beat it, but that just might be my fucking main character syndrome talking. I'm going to say maybe. I think I could beat it, but realistically, probably not.
I think with this one, Jigsaw doesn't give him an alternative. Is he just stuck in the chair if he doesn't do it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because all the other ones, there's like a door will close or they'll just die either way.
Yeah, yep.
But this one, he doesn't give an alternative for him.
Obviously, this is one of the first traps. He doesn't really have his MO fleshed out fully. This one's intense. I don't know if I could.
I would
Cutting
definitely
to
attempt
face.
it.
Oh, you'd give it a go for sure, but I'm gonna say probably not. All right, next up we have number 14, the Rack from Saw 3. This one is absolutely fucked. The victim of this trap is locked in an upright, full-body, crucifix-like contraption with rotating parts. Once activated, a series of gears begin to slowly turn, and the victim's arms and legs start to twist until their bones snap. Eventually, the victim's entire head is forced to rotate in a complete 360-degree arc until their neck breaks. Holy fuck.
The thing with this trap, whether he survives or not, is based off another person doing his try, which in this movie it was Jeff.
See, they almost had it. This was the one with the shotgun and the key, right?
Yeah.
That's another thing. That's another part. So whether you're in the rack or whether you're getting the key, I think if you're in the rack, you're fucked.
Fully dependent on the person trying to help you.
All right, okay. I'm in the rack and you're getting the key.
Well, the key is doable because Jeff did it easily, but then fucked up at like the very end, killed the judge that was there, I think. So it's doable if you are very careful with it.
Yeah, you can definitely grab the key, but do you think you've got the hand-eye coordination to grab the key without being shot in the head?
I don't know, because I can't sit still for very long.
You sit still. I'm in the fucking rack. My head's getting twisted around.
I reckon I could do it.
It's doable. This is probably... It's intense, this one, but I think if you were getting the key, I think you could manage. But fuck, if I was in the rack and I was watching you try and grab the key and you fucked up, your head got blown off by the shotgun. That's the last thing I see before my head gets turned around.
Yeah, you just know you're fucked if I fuck up.
Alright, number 13, we have the shotgun carousel from Saw 6. 6 unlucky victims are chained to a rotating playground carousel. As the carousel turns, each victim is briefly positioned in front of a loaded shotgun. A 7th person is then forced to decide who lives and who dies. So yeah, there's a shotgun aimed up at their head, and then whoever's been tested, they have to stick their hand in a contraption, and a spike comes down through their hand. And if they do that, then the shotgun doesn't go off. And
Well, it does go up. It just aims in the air.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Is there a limit to how many you can...
It's only 2 out of the 6.
Really?
Yeah, because the whole thing is it only takes in the percentage that their healthcare does.
Okay, well, realistically, with this one, you only need to get stabbed once. Well, okay, first of all, You wouldn't need to get stabbed at all. You could fuck these people off and just walk away. But if you decided to save 2 of them, you only realistically need to get stabbed once, because you could stick your hand in there, get stabbed once, and then the second time you get stabbed, if you line your hand up properly, it'll just go through the hole again, which might hurt.
It's less painful than just getting a completely separate stab.
But if you're on the carousel, you're fucked.
If I was the person choosing who survives, I would take the 2 stabs.
Oh, for sure, you'd have to. 2 stabs to the hand is pretty tame, considering what all these other traps will leave you with. I'm going to say this one's survivable if you're being tested, but if you're on the carousel...
It's just a chance.
Odds aren't great. What are the odds of you surviving? 2 out of 6, 1 out of 3, so 33%.
Yeah.
Not great. Alright, next up we have number 12, the scalping seat from Saw 4. This one's not really much of a trap. Sorry, that's not true. This is another one where it's reliant on another person. This trap's more of an obstacle for Rig, because he's hunting down Jigsaw and then he comes across this. So this trap is, there's a girl and her hair is stuck in between some gears, and the longer she's in there, the more these gears turn and pull her hair, and eventually they'll scalp her. And she just needs to get out and then kill Riggs. But Riggs, obviously, he wants to try and save her, and that's part of Jigsaw's plan. And this is one of those things, again, where if you're in the trap, you're completely reliant on the other person.
Yeah.
So we'll say survivable if you've got a competent someone trying to save you.
The thing is, all Riggs need to do, I think, is like find a key.
Isn't it in the same room, wasn't it? Yeah, because Jigsaw wanted her to get out and he wanted her to try and kill Riggs.
Jigsaw told Riggs that if he just ignores her, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
But then he tries to get her out, and that activates the trap. If I was Riggs, I would definitely try and listen to Jigsaw. With most of the traps that he comes across, it proves him needing to wait.
Yeah, but if I was a screaming woman in the chair with my hair stuck in gears and I was yelling at you to help me, would you leave me?
Ooh. No, I'd try and save you if it was simple enough. But if it was like taking too much time, I honestly would just leave.
Dick. Anyway, next up we have number 11, the Brazen Bull from Saw 3D. Oh, fuck me. This is another one. This trap is so fucked. It's so unfair. This is the one where the insurance guy... No, sorry.
It was a bloke who pretended to be a victim of Saw.
Yeah, yep, sorry. She's innocent. She's completely innocent. This girl that's stuck in this trap. And she's completely reliant on her husband to complete another trap.
Which is also the exact same trap that he said that he did.
Yeah, that he survived. And that was the one where he has to put the hooks through his pectoral muscles and pull himself up like 20 feet by his pectoral muscles. And he tried and he failed. And then his poor fucking wife gets locked in a brazen bull and is burnt alive.
Imagine just dating a dude.
No,
and then
married.
all of a sudden...
They've been married for years by the sounds of it.
Yeah, just married to a bloke, and then all because he faked something, you're the one that just gets cooked alive.
Yeah, his lovely supporting wife gets cooked in a fucking brazen bull because he lied.
Sometimes Jigsaw chooses like the weirdest victims.
We've spoken about that before on another episode. Jigsaw doesn't really give a fuck. Like, he tries to justify his victims and the traps and whatever, but he's just a straight up murderer.
It was bad, but it's another trap that's also reliant on another person.
I'm gonna say this one's probably not beatable.
Yeah.
Because the other trap that guy needs to beat, where he pulls himself up, I don't think that's beatable.
Yeah, no, like he proved that it wasn't actually possible.
Yeah, so I think this one is 100% unbeatable. You're just fucked. Next up, we've got number 10, the subway trap from Spiral. So this is the very first trap in the Spiral film, and there's a detective strung up by his tongue in the middle of a subway tunnel, and there's a train coming towards him. He's forced to decide whether to jump from the platform he's standing on, ripping the tongue from his mouth, or dangle midair and get squashed by the train, this one's intense. It's doable, and you could survive, but me personally, I think I'd take the L on this one as well.
Like, if you rip out your tongue, you're highly likely just to drown in your own blood.
That's a good point, actually, yeah.
So even if you get out, your chances of surviving afterwards, very low.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, I don't think I'd survive this one either.
I'd just take the train. I don't even care.
Yep. Okay, next up we've got number 9, the horsepower trap from Saw 3D. This one's like a Rube Goldberg machine. Where it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 victims, I think. So it starts with one person being glued to the front seat of a car, and another is strapped with barbed wire to a metal plate beneath the car's race tyre. A third victim is pierced with hooks and chained to the car's rear bumper, and a fourth is padlocked to a wall directly in front of the vehicle. So the first guy he's glued to the car. He has to rip the skin off his back, and then he has to pull a lever to free everyone. But if he fails,
All of them die.
the car drops down, squashes the second guy, and then the car rams forward and it rips. Yeah, so the third one has hooks through him that'll rip him apart, and then the fourth one he'll get hit by the car, and then the first guy dies when the car goes through the garage door, hits something, and goes flying out. This was a very, very cool scene. Oy, oy, oy. So basically the question is, so again, this is one reliant on the first guy in the car. Do you think you could rip your skin off?
Personally, I could not. Like, that's higher skin on my back. Oof.
I could do it. I don't think that's too bold to say. I think I could do it. I reckon it'd feel nice. Yeah, I don't know. This one's hard. I'd love to know what glue he used. I don't think I'd be able to survive this one either, to be honest.
Yeah, fuck no.
So there goes me and 3 other people.
Yippee.
Next up, we've got number 8, the Angel Trap from Saw 3. This one, you're strapped in a leather harness hanging several feet above the ground with a bunch of metal rods hooked into your rib cage, and to escape you have to reach your bare hand into like a beaker full of acid and grab the key out of it, and if you don't do that in time the metal rods will spring open, ripping your rib cage apart. And I've got so many questions with this trap. The metal rods in a rib cage, I assume if she even got out, would she not bleed out from that?
Probably. Because, like, how are they even connected to a ribcage?
I've always wondered that when I've watched these movies. And obviously this is another one that's rigged, because I'm pretty sure once she does end up getting the key out of the acid, it's too melted or too dissolved from the acid and she can't put in the lock, or she drops it.
No, she did get it and unlock the key. That was just like basically a fake lock that didn't unlock anything.
Oh, okay, yep.
And so yeah, she was still stuck in there even after that.
Well, that's the thing though. If it wasn't rigged, right, and if you're in this trap, would the key not be dissolved?
Well, it might be low enough acidity to like not melt the key, but only melt her hand.
I don't know. No, I'm no chemist. But I'd say this one's definitely beatable. If it wasn't rigged, it's for sure beatable, I think.
You just gotta full send it, hope for the best.
Yeah, you just gotta cop the L.
It's similar to the pendulum trap, where like once you do die from the trap, it's probably not instant.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining that shit fucking sucks.
Alright, next up we've got number 7, the Razor Box from Saw 2. This one is so fucking funny. This is one of the most deceptively simple traps in the franchise. The victim is poisoned with a deadly nerve gas that will kill them unless they inject an antidote, which is housed in a small glass box hanging from the ceiling. The problem is, once you reach your hand inside the box, the edges of the opening are lined with razors. So, okay, I've got a few questions with this one. Again, we've spoken about this on another podcast episode, whether the nerve gas affects your decision making. If it does, I think we'd all be in a similar situation to her.
Where we're just like oblivious, like we walk in, think that it's simple.
Yeah, just stick both your hands and cut your arms open. But I think if my decision making wasn't hindered, the easiest way to do this is use one hand to hold the razors open and use your other hand to grab the antidote.
Oh, another thing that sucks is that the syringe is also slightly stuck to the box.
Yeah, it's glued, isn't it? The plunger is glued to the box.
Like you would have to know that the bottom is stuck, so you can't just grab the top and pull it open.
That was for sure cheating.
Because all the other ones, like all the other antidotes in the house, I think are just like hanging or are just there.
Yeah.
But this one's a bit of a scam.
This one feels a bit cheap. I think it's survivable though, for sure.
Yeah, you just gotta know to not stick both your hands in at once. Even then, could you not like, if you have both hands in, you could reach over to the other blades and lift them up slightly?
I would assume that they were far enough apart that you couldn't reach. Yeah, beatable for sure. Number 6, the freezer from Saw 3. So in this one, you're chained up naked in a freezer and repeatedly sprayed with icy water that freezes on your exposed skin. This is another one that's reliant on another person. We'll say in this situation we're trying to help the person that's being frozen. So in this one, you have to reach between frozen steel to grab a key.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably another really easy one. You could probably use your clothes as protection so your bare skin's not touching the frozen steel.
Whereas Jeff just stuck his whole fucking face on it.
Yeah, also he took like 3 to 5 business days to fucking decide.
Fuck, I hate him in that movie because he takes forever with everything. He even gets the key, but by the time he turns back around, she's fucking frozen.
Yeah, definitely one of the easy ones, I think. If you just thought about it for longer than 2 seconds, you could do it. Although, to be fair, the woman who was chained up would probably end up dying of hypothermia anyway. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, next up we have number 5, the finger trap from Spiral. Okay, so you have to...
Yeah, all
Go on then.
all his fingers are in basically like the style of Chinese finger traps.
Yep.
So he can't pull them out. But if he clamps down on a bar with like a headgear that he's wearing,
Mhm.
it slowly rips them all off.
Oh, yep.
Um,
And the thing he's sitting in is filling up with water, hey?
yeah, and it'll be electrified if it gets too high.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do this one. This is definitely the same boat as the pendulum one, where it fucks your hands permanently. It's doable, for sure.
I will also say that at the start of the trap, he has like he can basically stand up in the tub that he's in
Yeah.
because his hands aren't pulled through like a stopping block basically.
Oh, okay, yep.
So could he have not just gotten up out of the tub?
I would assume so, yeah.
Because if he did that, he might have just been able to wait it out. But I don't know
Yeah.
how well that would have gone.
So this guy obviously dies, same position as me, doesn't want to lose his fingies. I don't think I could do it. I'd probably end up getting zapped.
Like with the pendulum one, that's just crushing, whereas this one is full ripping your fingers off. I wouldn't be able to do it either, personally.
Yeah, we're gonna say we're both dead on this one.
Yeah.
Alright, next up we've got number 4, the pig vat from Saw 3. This is another one that's reliant on another person. And I think if you're the one being tested, so okay, in this trap, you're chained by the neck to like a cylindrical vat, and then every so often a pig carcass will go through a grinder and all the sludge and waste will come out into the cylinder. Given long enough, you will drown in pig carcass.
Which in of itself is
And so the person being tested, he needs to burn his kid's belongings, the one that was in a car accident, which there's probably so many like psychological repercussions coming from that. And
Yeah.
obviously I don't have kids, I don't know what that's like. But this is also the judge. So the judge is in this trap, and the judge is the one who let his son's killer, gave him such an easy sentence.
it was a few months, I think.
Yeah, it was a few months. But like I said, I can't put myself in the position of having a child, and I'm sure that's fucking awful, whatever. But if all it was to press the button to incinerate some toys, I could probably do it. Like I said, I don't have the context of, you know, having a kid that had passed away.
Yeah. But without the context, I guess like it seems simple.
Easy, one button press, done. See you later. I'll just say it's definitely survivable though.
Because the judge does survive this one.
Yep. Okay, next up we've got number 3, the bathroom trap from the first Saw. This one is obviously it's the entirety of the first film, so it's a bit of a long one. And I think the goal is, so there's 2 people in there. There's Adam and Dr. Gordon.
Yeah. They each have their own goals. Gordon's one is to kill Adam, and Adam's is just to escape.
This one's a bit hard. Maybe we'll talk about it in a potential Saw review ? In a future episode. Yeah, we'll put a pin in that.
Because yeah, it depends on who you are in the situation.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next up we have number 2, the reverse bear trap from Saw 6 and Saw 3D. So this is the poster child of the Saw series. It's up there with Billy the Puppet and whatever. So in the first film, Amanda has the bear trap on her head, and she has to cut open another guy's stomach and find the key for it. So I guess that's the question. Would you be willing to cut open another human being, who's alive, by the way? But I don't think he could feel anything because I think he was under anesthetic. Would you be willing to do that?
100% personally, because Amanda, the person who's in the trap in the first one, she's shown what will happen. Much rather kill a person who I think is dead to like survive than rather get my whole head torn open.
Yeah, because I think when Jigsaw explains it, he says that the guy's dead, but then you realize he wakes up. He was just under anesthetic, I think. It's easy to say I could do it, but I think in the position, I don't know if I could do it. If I was told that he was dead, I would do it in a heartbeat. So I'm going to say this one's definitely survivable.
Yeah. But the 2 other ones where the bear trap is in, Saw 6, Hoffman had a bear trap on him given by Jill with the intent of just killing him without a trial.
Yep.
But he escapes by putting it through 2 bars before it opens, so it stops it.
Yeah, so he gets some of his cheek torn open, but he survives.
And then in 3D, Hoffman does the same thing to Jill, except Jill can't get out and she does die.
Yep.
So those 2 intentionally to kill, whereas Amanda's was an actual test.
Yep.
So only the first Saw one is beatable, I guess.
Yeah, with an actual test, it's definitely survivable. Okay, next up we have number 1, the needle pit from Saw 2. My personal favourite. it. This is my favorite trap in the entire Saw
I
series.
I fucking hate it. Love the design. Just the idea of it is horrifying to me.
The simplicity of this trap is fucking awesome. It's so horrendous and just disgusting. There's a pit of used needles, probably over a couple thousand, and you're just meant to jump straight in and find a key, which sounds pretty simple. But I was in the hospital not long ago for a kidney stone, and I had an IV put in me. Bro, one needle, that sent me. I like a whole pit of them. I don't know. Was this the key for the room that they were in?
I think it was just a key to get an antidote.
I think it was a safe, wasn't it? That had a timer on it.
It was either a safe or a door to an antidote.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this trial was also meant for Xavier, that's his name.
Xavier. So this trap was meant for Xavier because he was a drug dealer, was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
But then he just throws Amanda into it.
Yeah, the big fucking brute that he is. The absolute gentleman, the hero that he is. He just throws Amanda straight in there, who is a recovering drug addict, getting all of these used needles shoved into her. It's pretty awesome, and it makes me sick every time I watch it. And it gets worse when the timer goes down, and she just starts getting more and more panicked and just starts shoveling through these needles. It's so fucking horrendous to watch.
And the thing that sucks is that she finds the key, but Xavier fucking fumbles it in the door and fucks it up.
Yep. So all that for nothing. I think this one's survivable, but probably not for long because you'd end up with a list of diseases.
But I would fucking hate it.
Yeah, this one's pretty awful. Definitely survivable though. But I think out of all of them, I'd be the least excited for this one. That's Variety's top 20 goriest Saw traps. And like I said, maybe next week we might do a Saw review. Who knows? Who's to say? I don't know. I do know though. You guys will have to wait. Thanks for joining us again. Ben,
And I'm Ethan.
and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
Bye.
Disgusting.
Fucking awful.